We're live. Welcome back, everyone. J Bone here for Smash This Podcast. What's up, guys? Yes, I shaved. And the funniest part about that, believe it or not, is after I shaved, my wife told me she was upset that I shaved. Weird. So, guess I'm growing it back. But after this week, I got a wedding to go to this coming weekend. So, yep, it's going to be a crazy ass week leading up to that. All right, but enough about that. Enough about me. Let's talk some MLW Kings of Colosseum that just wrapped up on the old YouTube. It's the live podcast of you guys. Oh, well, go watch the replay. It is up and it is doing tremendous numbers. Last time I looked, in less than 24 hours, like 2K. Unbelievable. Unfreaking believable. Love those guys. We're putting out some great numbers. I'm proud to be a part of that group. It's also on audio too. So however you want to watch it. In fact, the boys just shared it again on the Twitter if you want the quick link. So yeah, Kings of the Colosseum sold out third time from thank you. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. Kings of the Colosseum sold out from Chi-Town, not too far from here, just outside of Milwaukee. And yeah, I wish this happened around here, but we had some pretty cool stuff happen in our show too. Man, and I'm hearing a trickling of news coming out of the Chicago show. Sounds like an absolute lovely hot mess of stuff that happened that evening. I can't wait to see the rest of it play out on MLW Fusion. Don't even care, Selfie King. Don't even care. Not watching, because you know what? There is more guaranteed more wrestling on this 1 hour of MLW than there will be on Raw tonight. Guaranteed. Now, I'm not going to watch Raw to find out, but if you want to watch those 1 to 2 minute matches and let me know, go ahead and do that. Yeah, I'm done with Raw for quite a while if they're putting on 1 to 2 minute matches. I was so pissed off last week, not even funny. So, let's talk about this Kings of Colosseum. This was a fun episode. I mean, when this championship match got booked, I was shocked. I'm not lying. I was shocked because when I met Jacob Fatu a month ago, we had no clue about this. I mean, we knew about the taping. We had no clue what matches were. No, it's going to be on pay-per-view, Humble Beast. When I met him in just outside Milwaukee, not too far from here, I told him, I said, "Nah, I'm not psychic or nothing. Please don't take me as I can see the future, but I can." You see certain people and you just know they're going to do big things. And man, ever since their entrance into the company between March and April, they have been destroying people. Absolutely just absolutely killing it. I saw some guy on Facebook the other day that says, "Oh, Jacob Fatu will never win. He hasn't done anything since he's entered the company." It's like, well, moron, you must not watch because Contra is guilty, and I mean that in a positive way, guilty of taking out well over a dozen people on this show, even causing the demise, I mean, of the Lucha Bros, who won't be back on MLW now. So it's just, and that's just stupid ignorance to say that, oh, they haven't done anything. Oh man. And before I get into these matches, I'm gonna say one other thing. There is a certain individual who comes in here and says MLW is taking over, and he says this on all my videos, and I'm sure he'll be back. But see, when this aired live on BN Sports, which I recently found on my Spectrum system, which I was excited about, I was like, oh, I can actually watch it live on Saturdays once in a while when I'm not doing anything. So I watched it. I didn't watch it live, but I watched it. Only to find out that the DVR cut it out. Like a minute after an hour went on. I was pissed. So I basically missed the entire Fatu Lawler match. They were just getting started. The second I get done watching it and figuring it out, I get a lovely little message on one of my older videos from this guy, the W. Oh, by the way, Fatu's the new champ. I didn't want to know. Okay? So that pissed me off. And I've said on here, I don't know how many times, I don't know, just countless numbers of times, I don't talk about spoilers. I don't relish in them. The only time I'll talk about anything spoiler related is if the company already put something out ahead of a taping. Or during a taping, I should say. Because it was reported when Aries, okay, for example, real quick, when Aries came back to Impact Wrestling and became champ in like 2 seconds earlier this year or last year, whenever it was, and the internet was like, oh, Aries is champ. And then 2 seconds later, Impact Wrestling was like, yes, by the way, Austin Aries is your new champ. And we'll see that on a future episode of Impact Wrestling. That kind of news I went live with. And I talked about it on here. And, so that kind of stuff I will. But don't message me. Don't message me and say, oh, by the way, if you want to talk to me about something, ask me if I watched it first, if anything. Okay? Do me that favor. Okay? And I love talking to you guys. Message me on social media, tag me in something. Hey, have you seen this? Whatever. I don't mind talking to you guys. I've got a few that message me on a fairly regular basis, and I dig it, and I appreciate it. It makes me feel like I'm growing a community here on Smash This Podcast, okay? So this dumbass messages me, puts a comment on one of my older videos. Hey, Fatu beat Lawler, whatever the hell he said. Spoil it for me. So I deleted the post and I muted his ass. So MLW. If you care to resolve this issue with me, you can hit me up on any of my links in the social media below. Because that's strike 2 for you, dumbass. I'm not that fired up. I just, after you talk about something a billion times on here about not digging spoilers, taking pride in not putting that kind of stuff out, and then just because I always watch it on Mondays. So why would you message me on a Saturday and say blah, 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 blah? So you can take your blah, 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 blah and shove it up your ass. So let's talk about Kings of Colosseum. That happened this past Saturday in Chi-Town. Starts out with the Star Spangled Challenge. Speaking of Star Spangled, woo! Brand new Ric Flair shirt. Courtesy of Meyer stores for $10. I have so many $10 shirts, WWE shirts from Meyer, it's not even funny. And this is probably the coolest one I got, Flair. It's nice. So we got Hammerstone laying out a challenge for his national open weight championship. And who answers? I was like really excited for this. I was like, well, who's going to answer the challenge? Cotto Brazil. Not the guy who I thought was going to answer. Not that I had any clue in the world, honestly, who was going to answer. But I like Cotto. So I'm like, okay, let's see what he does. And they actually put on a decent match. It wasn't a squash. And considering the rest of the dynasty were at ringside, I thought it was going to be a squash, but pleasantly surprised that it wasn't. So Hammerstone successfully defends his championship here. MJF at ringside on commentary, just absolutely gold. And Cornette, would you please speak at a decent volume? You're deafening me over here. Isn't it deaf? I didn't. You're mispronouncing the word deaf. Oh God, I love Cornette. And then he was, plugging his podcast later. It's like, no, don't plug your podcast. No one likes your podcast because all you do is shit on everything. Like I've said, Cornette on commentary, talking about wrestling-related things or talking about stuff going on in the ring or giving a little history lesson on something. That Jim Cornette I can handle. When he's on his podcast, oh, let me tell you about the latest AEW show. And then shits on it for 15 minutes. I'll give him this. At least he watches it and shits on it. Should I? Fuck it. Conan puts these highlights from his Keeping It One whatever on the YouTube channel.
And there's Glenn talking about AEW. Oh, I didn't watch it, but I'm going to shit all over it.
Oh my God. Oh, and the excuse was nobody watches wrestling on Saturdays. Did you check the numbers? Apparently they do. Love Conan. Respect Conan. but don't shit on a show if you haven't watched it. That would be like me complaining about Ring of Honor. Oh, I'm going to shit all over Ring of Honor. Oh, but have I watched an episode recently? Well, no, but same thing. Let's jump in the chat here for a second. Humble Beast like the fight you for the couch. What? Been meaning to ask you this for a while. How much would you sell for one of those action figures? They're not for sale. I mean, unless you like offered some like ridiculous amount of number. I mean, I take pride in these. I display them. I dust them. I take them to bed with me every night. No, I'm kidding. But no, I mean, they're not for sale, unless there's, you hit me up on social media. If you're like seriously interested in something, we could talk about it. I'll entertain your offer, but they're not, I'm not really putting them up for sale. About that I will. Yeah, go ahead. Hit me up on Twitter. I'm there the most. Watches wrestling on Saturdays, especially independent wrestling. Yeah, see? It's told. That's what you told Carl about Trent's couch. Oh, I said I would. Oh, yeah. Talking about that we would stay at Trent's place for the pay-per-view when Bound for Glory comes to Chicago, and it said I would fight Kyle for it. And I said, and then I said I would. I said we could spoon and share the couch. Oh, love those guys. Yeah. Sorry, you like lost me there for a second. I was like, what? But yeah, great shit. We'll be recording later. Simon Gotch then gets taken out after this. Oh, I forgot something. I didn't write it down in the notes, and then I remembered to forget it later. Yeah. They laid out a challenge for the Dynasty for the tag team championships because they stole the belt a couple weeks ago, a week or two ago on MLW television. Stole one of the tag team belts from Teddy Hart, laid out the challenge, and then we'll get to the reply later, but I almost forgot that. Yeah. They basically wanted it to be a 3-on-3 because they wanted to get Brian Pillman Jr. in the mix too. Then they draped the flag over Hammerstone, and he was all patriotic, and it was hilarious. Simon Gotch then gets taken out by Lawler as he was reminding everyone on how last time they were in Chicago and Lawler got taken out by everyone. That was back when Gotch sold him out to Selena De La Renta's crew. So that goes back a bit. This is all pre-Fatu. So Gotch it just proves that Gotch is just a weasel because now he's part of Contra. He has no soul. So, Lawler bashes his head in the door, takes him out. So, rip Gotch. Then they talk about the first pay-per-view coming to, of all places, Chicago. No, I'm not mad about that. No, I think that's awesome. It's their first pay-per-view coming November 2nd. MLW Super Fight in Chicago. Same place where they did this taping. Cicero Stadium, I believe is what it's called. And news came out within the next day that it was going to be offered on, I believe, Fight TV for $20, $19.99, which is fair, especially if you're going to show a 3 to 4 hour show. And for a brand that's trying to grow, and they're not charging $40-$50, so I think that's smart, on MLW's part. I think a lot of people will take advantage of it. A lot of people don't want to pay $40 to $50. I think a lot more people are willing to pay 20 bucks. So we're just talking about small wrestling companies. What are your top 3? Don't include Impact, WWE, and AEW. Oh, gosh. Because at this point, thinking like crowd-wise, I would put MLW and Impact pretty close. Not going to lie. Because this place holds over 2,000. Okay, where they're at right now. And I didn't hear official numbers, but I'm hearing about 1K for Slammiversary. And that place can hold a lot more. So, I don't know. I'm not crapping on Impact, by all means. Because the place they're booking for Bound for Glory holds a lot more. So, I'm a little worried about that. But I'm excited at the same time because Chicago is a hotbed right now for wrestling. Independent and everything. So, oh gosh, I don't know. AAW, I'd say, is making waves. They're starting to get around, Chicago, Dallas, other places, I think. Yeah, I don't watch enough independent wrestling to really, that's like off the top of my head. But I know others are starting to make waves like Defy and PCW and stuff like that. So, yeah, there you go. Next, we got Myron Reed versus Ray Horus. Trying to pronounce that properly. I can't roll my R's. I'm sorry about that. But these guys knocked it out of the park. Jordan Oliver at the ringside with Myron Reed waving that, justice sign. Man, just knocked it out of the park. Myron Reed wins with a springboard uppercut. But these guys are flying all over the place. I love both these guys. I think the Justice gimmick is not a super big deal, but it's something that they, can, get the crowd a little riled up about. They wave their signs around and trying to get a reaction out of the crowd. Crowd boos them. So, yeah, and it's interesting that Jordan Oliver joined his cause too. So, and we'll see if Rich Swann comes back. I'm not sure why he hasn't been back in a while, but I know he's been busy with Impact and a lot of other stuff. So, obviously couldn't do this date because of Impact Wrestling stuff going on. So, yeah, we might see him back. But I really like Rich Swann in MLW. So we'll see if he comes back. But as far as Myron Reed, flying a flag for the cause of justice or injustice or whatever, I like it. It's funny. And it's always great to see Ray Horus as well. Became a big fan of his in Lucha Underground. And if you're curious about him, you can go look up his matches on YouTube. I'm sure he's got some stuff on there. Georgia Smith, part of the Smith family dynasty, if you will. Close ties with the Hart Foundation here. New backstage commentator, I guess, interviewer, commentator, whatever you say, at MLW. Very happy about that. She seems like she's got quite the speaking ability down pat right on her first, try. So, yeah, congrats and welcome to the show. She's interviewing none other than the Hart Foundation about accepting this challenge from MJF and Dynasty. But the Hart Foundation adds a twist to it. They make it a ladder match. I can't wait to see that. Now, unfortunately, that result has already been spoiled. If you want to see what happened, you can look that up on your own. I won't reveal it here, and please don't put it in the comments. So, but nonetheless, I still can't wait to see it. I just need to learn to stay off of social media for a couple days while I'm, it's something that I'm really interested, but what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Oh, I know. Throw my phone in the toilet. Oh. All right, let's jump in the chats real quick before we get to the main event. What about FSW where Killer Cross and Moxley fought? Yeah, they've been around. Yeah, they just celebrated 10 years. I think the West Coast stuff is growing. Yeah, definitely. There's a few on the West Coast that are starting to really draw some attention. Championship, what was that? Championship Wrestling from Hollywood. There's also one from Arizona. I think they both have TV deals around, places. So yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of little ones. It's just nice to see a variety in wrestling on TV and social media. And the best thing to happen for Swan was him getting let go by WWE. Well, I mean, yeah, it was, some unfortunate, bad things that happened to him personally in his life. And then WWE just, chopped him off right there. And, but, he's come a long way since then. He almost quit wrestling. Thank God he didn't. He rose above that and joined Impact, and he's been killing it on the Indies and Impact Wrestling and MLW, among other places. So yeah, I mean, and he's become one of my favorites on Impact Wrestling. Love that guy. His charisma is just through the roof, and it shines, and his talent is just. He's a great X Division champion. What can I say? That's with the top flyer, basically the black version of AJ Styles. Well, okay. That's an interesting way to put it. I wouldn't say that, but okay. That's fine. Certainly, talent-wise, comparable. Yeah, I guess that's one way of saying it. Oh, goodness. All right, then. Oh, I almost forgot. We got the Jim Cornette, the Jim Cornette experience with Selena De La Retina, as Sammy Callahan would say. And they're talking back and forth. And then she says some choice stuff about Conan. And then Conan shows up, and he says he's got some surprise people he's got showing up, and he signed, and he's bringing them to MLW. And I think I know who he's talking about too. If I had to guess off the top of my head, I'd say it's the Wagners. I wouldn't be surprised for a minute if he came out with them and represented them. Because I know they're showing up, the little promo, came up right after this and said Dr. Wagner coming soon. Cue the Bon Jovi music. But then Selena says that she's got a little secret, or maybe a big secret, about Conan that's going to absolutely destroy his career. I don't know what it is, but I can't wait to find out, because I'm very curious to see what Selena's going to dig up on him and what they're going to do. And then, like I said, Dr. Wagner coming soon. Great promo. Love that. And if you're wondering, the Bon Jovi music is what they play in AAA whenever he comes out. So I doubt we're going to get that on this show. If we do, I'll be pretty I'll laugh, honestly. I'll be like, oh my god, cue the Bon Jovi. I always say that when Wagner comes out. So I doubt we're gonna get Bon Jovi music with I don't think MLW wants to pay for that. But but next we got the main event for the MLW Heavyweight Championship. Filthy Tom Lawler defending his championship against Jacob Fatu with Joseph Samael at ringside. Man, this is exactly, I mean, don't get me wrong. I was still surprised that Jacob won, and I don't mean that before it was spoiled for me. I was, as they were promoting this leading up to this event, I was like, week by week, I was like, man, could they really do this quick with Jacob Fatu? I mean, he's been undefeated since day one in March of this year. Several months later now, still undefeated, wreaking havoc with his crew, and it made sense. It honestly, it made sense for this to happen. I'm ecstatic about it. I didn't think it was going to happen this, like I said, when I met Fatu at the last event, I told him, I see big things for you in your future. Because watching since March, especially that moonsault he did off the cage or the whatever, man, and that was his entrance, and it just snowballed from there. Just amazing. I'm a little surprised he didn't come in with Estrada because Estrada's with him in AAW in Chicago. Haha. Remember Estrada? Oh yeah. Armando Alejandro Estrada. Haha. Oh, love that guy. If Fatu ever goes anywhere else, like bigger than, because okay, they keep saying that these guys aren't signed. They are signed. In fact, Jacob Fatu has an exclusive deal with MLW. That's what I just read like yesterday. Okay. So, yeah, he's not going anywhere for a while. We're getting the summer of Fatu, and I couldn't be happier because this guy is a beast. His athleticism is ridiculous. The stuff he showed, I mean, he showed off new stuff in this match that I've never seen before, that I've never seen him do before, I should say. I loved it. I mean, he really kicked Tom's. I like Tom Lawler. I know a lot of people don't dig him and say he's boring or whatever, but I liked him. I felt like he was decent with his promos. He's just, he may not be a Seth Rollins or a Roman Reigns type guy, I mean, he's a former UFC fighter, so he's a little scrappier, so he's cut from a different cloth, you could say. But yeah, absolutely crazy. He beat Tom Lawler 1, 2, 3. He just whipped him around. He really did. Tom did not get in a lot of offense on this one. And like I said, I kind of had a feeling it was going to go like this, but I didn't know if they were really going to pull the trigger on this one. But tremendous. I'm just ecstatic about Jacob Fatu. I can't wait to see how long, number one, how long he holds this. Excuse me. And who he all faces for this. Because I know there's a line of people that were waiting to get at Tom, too. Davey Boy Smith Jr. being one of them. L.A. Parks got that golden ticket. Someone was saying in the live chat of the MLW show while it was live on YouTube, said, "Oh yeah, Aries is going to go for it." No, Aries is going after Teddy. You got to pay attention. Come on, people, catch up. So congrats, Jacob Fatu. Hashtag Summer of Fatu. Hashtag MLW Mondays. Super stoked that you're a champ. Hey, maybe we'll even try to get the champ on here. What do you say? Would love to pick his brain on a few things. And, he might be a man of few words. Maybe we'll have to find out, eh? It would be the second monster we've had on here. That'd be pretty cool. I don't get a lot of interviews on here, but we had Cross. That went well. We'll see. We'll see what happens. All right, so that's going to do it for this one. I got to get out of here. I got a date with two guys from the Total Nonstop Impact Podcast. We're going to, seems like we're a little backwards, but we're going to be recording the review for the last Impact Wrestling episode before Slammiversary. So we're going to knock that out of the park tonight. And that'll be up sooner rather than later, hopefully. And yeah. Super stoked for that. And I got some more catching up to do over the next few days. So keep an eye out for that. I'll be watching the other Impact Wrestling shows that happened this weekend prior to Slammiversary. I have not watched those yet, but I heard they were good. Let's jump in the chat real quick before we get out of here. Oh my goodness, it's all Humble Beast. Hardcore or that's what I meant. No disrespect. This one. Okay. Even against guys like Elgin, power match about to go live again. No, we're not. No, we're recording. We're doing the typical show we usually do. Slammiversary last night was a first. I know we're going to go live again, but I think it's going to be for like special events. It's not going to be all the time. So, didn't mean to get you excited about that. But yeah, it will happen again. It's just we're not going live tonight. Unless they change their mind, they could always change their mind. But as far as I know, we're recording because, they do like the production side of the show. They like to put all the bells and whistles in there and the hoo-hoo and the ha and the in my ass and all that stuff in there. So, I just love being a part of that crew, and it cracks me up. I'm a lucky guy. What can I say? I'm just a lucky man. Thanks, Humble Beast. Appreciate it. So yeah, we're gonna get out of here. Don't forget to smash that like button, smash that sub button, and ring that bell for notifications to let you know when more of my content hits your screen. We'll be back mañana. Good night.